The exercise that we're working on today is very useful, and I think that any dog can only benefit from learning something like this. I'm going to show you how to teach your dog to go and lie down on a mat or a blanket or their bed on cue. If taught properly, not only can this help manage the dog a lot better, but it's also very useful in helping your dog relax, whether it's going to be in a new environment like at the vet, or if you go camping, or even just around the house. So the first thing that we want to do is get the dog to go onto the mat. A good place to start is by throwing a treat onto the mat and then clicking as soon as the dog steps on it. Good. Good job. You can also have your dog sit a few feet away, visibly throw a treat onto the mat, and then release them to go and get it, clicking as soon as they make contact. Yes, good job. It's a good idea to start clicking the dog for staying on the mat. This is really communicating the idea that you have to go to the mat, you have to stay on the mat, this is where the treats are happening. Because eventually we want the dog to go to the mat and stay there until they're released, we can now start using a release word. Consistently release the dog before they get off the mat. Okay, come on. Good job. Okay. Yes, good job. Okay. Yes. After doing this many times, and possibly for a few training sessions, you should be able to send the dog to the mat without first enticing them with a treat. Pointing and looking at the mat usually works best. Good girl. Okay. If you are having some difficulty with this, you can pretend to throw a treat using a hand motion that they are already familiar with, and a lot of dogs will catch on to this pretty quickly. Yes, good job. But once you are confident that the dog will go to the mat every single time, you can start using the cue. So there, go settle. Also, get your dog used to going to the mat from a lot of different angles. I like to use play as a form of reward, much better than using food, but that's just me. You may have a dog that prefers to eat more than they do to play. I just find it more engaging and bond building to have that kind of interaction with a dog. The next step is to start practicing this in different places. Starting with lesser distractions, you can work your way up to more and more distracting locations. This is actually the same method that we use to teach a dog to go to their crate, especially for dogs that are a little bit wary at first of going into a crate. It's a very gradual process to get them accustomed to it. Once they're comfortable going to a mat, you can start placing the mat inside the crate. Go to your crate.